show today is being sponsored by My CRD, My Credit Restoration Depot. They help people to make money, save money, have excellent credit, and live debt-free. So if you need their services, go to www.mycrd.org or find them on Facebook, like and share their page. So let's just talk about the premise of our show: winning, dreaming, and believing.
I love it.
And not funny, because it was God that when I met Shane, we're so like-minded about life, and so I was like, oh my gosh, he dreams big, I dream big. Oh my goodness. So but winning at in every aspect of your life. And there's a couple of ingredients that we want to talk about, but let's just talk about first what you do.
Okay.
Leanne Foster, of the CEO of Euthenix, and I love her tagline: they teach people how to treat people. And so and like Shane and I always talk about the type of service that we get at places, or even when you travel, however. And I'm telling you, whenever I encounter someone that really is not gifted in what they do, I'm like, they need Leanne Foster. So tell us, one, about your company, two, and then give us maybe one of the things that you feel that has helped you win at what you do.
Absolutely. And again, well, let me say thank you and welcome to the 108 Praise family.
Thank you.
And thank you for considering me to open up on your show. So thank you for the invitation. Well, Euthenix, let me tell you what Euthenix is. Euthenix is simply, it's a huge word, but all it means is impacting the lives of others. The official definition, you go to Webster or Google, and it says the study of improving mankind by impacting its environment.
Wow.
Big word, big meaning, but it's not that hard. It's not that hard. So with Euthenix, my company, we go in and we specialize in guest services. We help with leadership building, team building. What my company does is we try to get the best out of you. Whatever you is, wherever you are, whatever you need to improve on, we transform that potential, because we all have potential, into productivity.
Okay.
So there's nothing you can really do with just flour. But if you take some flour, some eggs, and some other ingredients, then you mix all that up. That's Shane mixing it up. Shane is mixing it up. Yeah, you get all that mixture, and then you get the product that you were desiring. So that's what my company does. We go in and we just want the best out of you.
Awesome.
And so pretty much we don't have, everybody says, what's your target market? People with places with people.
That's right.
Places with people.
That offer some sort of service.
Any type of service, even personal, because we still have to interact with one another.
Right.
And in interacting with one another, we have to connect.
You should probably be teaching a class in high school right about now.
Absolutely. Go ahead and speak it into existence.
Okay.
We are going into the educational system, because before they put them out there and they know their computer skills, but they have no soft skills. That's where Euthenix comes in. Yeah.
Well, then when they need to learn about personal finance, then you just put them out
and then
right away.
Send them your way. But, absolutely. So that's what Euthenix does, and why Euthenix wins is because not necessarily there's been no failure. Running a business is not a cakewalk. There are daily struggles, and I still go through daily struggles where I decide whether or not I meet my definition of success. Is when I know that I've moved from successful to significance. When I leave and the people that I have shared with, because this is my ministry, it's just not my business, this is my ministry. When I leave, and I have, like today I was at one of my clients, and one of the young guys walked up to me, he was a manager, and he was saying, wow, that was phenomenal. Usually they don't like me when I get there. I'm another level of authority. But after it's all done, and now they're looking to see when I'm coming back, or when the next class, what are we going to talk about next? And they're enthused about learning. So that's pretty much what I do, and that's how I win. I just win being authentic to what's important to me. It's very important to me that we make a connection with people, and we're good to people.
Absolutely.
And so with that being the case, as long as I stay true to my father and my belief system, success will come.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So say that one more time. But you go from being what to significant?
From successful, but you go to significance.
That's
And
right. I like it.
I was at the John
From
Maxwell
success to significance.
thing last week, and they said once you've had significance, success never tastes the same.
Mm.
Like,
That's how I go from dial-up to Wi-Fi.
yeah.
Well, another winner that we have at the table with us is Mr. Sean Gavin, owner of Truly Nolan in, is it Paulding Cobb?
West Metro.
West Metro.
Okay.
Now, I really never even thought about pests before until I met Sean, because Sean's always looking to teach or share something, or if it's just crazy, he just shares it. But Sean, tell us more about you and what helps, because you've done some record-breaking things. Like Sean's always like the top in the whole nation of Truly Nolan, and that's huge. So tell us one thing that has helped you. Well, tell us about you, and Sean has a beautiful family and your company, and then what makes you win.
Well, I've been in the industry for 14 years. I worked for a larger company that their sole purpose in life was just money. And I was one of their top sales reps. 7 out of the 9 years I was there, I was number 1. And, you know, my biggest issue with corporations and companies is what they do for the community. Now, I'm a football coach. I coach basketball. And I used to always run into my parents saying, hey, why'd you raise my price? No, I didn't raise your price. But it was the company that was doing it. And in life, you got people that, you know, sit back and let corporations and company run them. And then you got people like us that decides that, you know what, we're going to do what's right.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest things with me. I'm a strong believer in it. If I put my mind to anything in this world, I can be successful.
Right.
You know, when I worked for this company, they told me, oh, if you start your own company, you'll be out of business in 6 months. You know, they actually flew in from Tennessee to come tell me why I would fail.
Wow.
And that was one of the biggest things with me, because if you tell me I can't do something, I don't care what it is, I'm gonna prove it wrong.
Right.
That's just my mentality.
Right.
So, you know, I started out, you know, debating on if I was just gonna do, you know, an independent company or buy a franchise. And one of the things that a lot of business people was telling me was like, hey, you may want to try, you know, to do a franchise because the name recognition is there. So I bought into Truly Nolan. I like the whole little mouse cars and the ears and the tails.
I love it.
But, you know, over time, I started to realize it's really not about the makeup of the actual company. It's the people that's behind the company. And I have been number 1. My first year, I was the number 1 franchise in the country. Last year, I had the top growth in the country with a 200% growth over the previous year. And I sit down and I'm not a type of person to brag on numbers, because realistically, numbers is irrelevant to me. You know, what I like to brag on is when Sean Gavin is doing Mableton Day or sponsoring a 5K race or sitting there, you know, what we do run. They got me out here running. I got to lose a couple of more pounds, but I'm trying to keep up with Shane. He's an animal when it comes to it. But, you know, the passion that I have for winning, and that just stems back from me playing sports and me just, you know, having an older brother, and a little brother was always that competitive nature. And I'm always competitive in everything that I do in life. And people always say, well, Sean, you always serious. No, I like to have fun. I'm a big jokester, but when it comes down to it, it's always a competition.
Right.
You know, I get invited to a radio show. Guess what? I got to be better than all the other radio shows on, so they can keep listening. You know, that's what it's about. So, you know, that's what, you know, business is about. That's what I'm about, and it's showing with my company right now. It's just showing that, you know, you put God first and you keep doing the right thing. You know, you're going to make mistakes, like you said about something about failure. You're going to make mistakes. And I tell my customers all the time, it's not about the mistake that I made, it's how I fix it.
Right.
And that always will put me better than all the other companies. I want to change the way that pest control is looked in Georgia, because believe it or not, I don't know if y'all have companies, but you call your company, you are 2167413, and you are your property address. You're not a person to them. With my customers, Miss Smith can call me, well, not right now because I'm here, but they'll call me personally and say, hey, Sean, I got a dead roach. You gonna come get it? That's no problem. I'm on my way.
Right.
You know, so that's what it's about. It's about putting people first.
And Sean's always up early, grinding, and that's what I love about him. But truly, now when anyone talks to me about service or pest, he's the first person I think of, because he set the precedence of service and that personal touch. And so, and talk about becoming significant, flying in from Tennessee to tell you you're going to fail. And truly, success has not left him behind. So that's true.
Yeah.
But as you said, in running a business is tough, and winning in life, because we all, in pursuit of our dreams, will hit our limit. I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
Even Navy SEALs hit limits, or athletes hit limits, and so and it can be tiring sometimes to up your knowledge and up your skill set and just trying to be the best in your lane. I mean, and I always feel like the more we know, the more we need to know. And so we should never stop working on that personal development side. But the biggest thing in winning in anything, I find, is relationships.
Oh yeah.
Because no one does it alone.
Can't get that by yourself.
Right? I mean, everyone has a mentor. Even the best have had them. Mark Zuckerberg was mentored by Steve Jobs. So Bill Gates by Warren Buffett. I mean, everyone. So what would you say, as you've been building, what key relationships have helped you to kind of get you, maybe to think of one time where you got up to the next level in what you were trying to do?
Well, honestly, and I believe, and my philosophy is, if you want a thing, be that thing that you're seeking. So if you want to attract people, so my biggest thing is getting into circles that people will dream big with you. Because sometimes as dreamers, entrepreneurs, we see things on a scale where people are like, okay, you're going too far.
Right. And
the normal people want to pull you back, but I'm so not normal. So I need somebody. Right. I tell people these eyes are not this big to see small, right?
That's right.
Yeah, I can't see small. So when I say, no, this is what I want for my company, I want this and I want to be global and this, and then somebody says, well, why don't you just start off in this? Right. No, why don't you just get you a target? And I hear that and I can respect. Yes, the law of the lid. Are you familiar with the law of the lid?
Yes.
But to put a lid on me, so I know that people always, they have great intentions. I don't think that everyone's just out to just really water down your dreams and hurt you. I think that they only see as much as they can see.
Right.
So I find the best relationships when I align myself with fellow dreamers that can dream as big as me, allow me to be as outlandish,
right,
and just as spacey as I want to be, and then figure out how to strategically we can place all that in the right place. You didn't tell me I couldn't get it. You said, okay, well, let's eat this elephant one bite at a time, but you can eat the whole elephant.
Right.
So
to reel you back in,
I get
just too far.
Right. But it's reeling me back in to slow me down just enough to catch my breath and make sure that I'm not overwhelming myself, but not limiting what I see.
Right.
So I feel like the relationships that are vital are those relationships where people can dream with you, run alongside of you. But I do believe in modeling. We all model somebody.
Right.
Doesn't mean it's always a good model, but everybody models somebody.
Right.
So when we're not aware of who we're modeling, that's when we're typically in trouble. But I have a lot of great people that I look to as mentors. I look at whether they're business, but before I look at anybody's business, I'm looking at your lifestyle. I'm looking at how you treat other people, because if you suck in your personal life, then you're going to suck in business.
It doesn't matter what you do.
Exactly.
And I mean, you talk to any high performer, they will always point to the power of the other. And it's been proven that who you surround yourself with will determine
check your five
how long you live, how much money you'll make, whether or not you'll reach your goals, how you deal with stress.
Right.
And so, and we've talked about how when we've gotten together to eat and we're just sharing our visions, that you cannot share them with everybody.
No.
some people are just those 9-to-5ers, and
There's nothing wrong with
no.
that.
And I love the fact that you said it. There's nothing wrong with that. When I think about, and I think with entrepreneurship and multi-level marketing right now, big push and everybody, but they try to sell it as if you don't buy into this, you're not winning.
Right.
No, if that person decides, because for one, everybody's level and definition of success differs a little bit. So as long as you nail your definition of success,
That's right.
hey, roll with it. If that 9-to-5 serves you for what it serves you,
Yeah.
and you're happy
As
with
long
it,
as you're truly happy.
Well,
truly
right.
joyful.
And
Gotta be
you
honest.
can still, work for a corporation, but view your position as your business.
Exactly.
Because you should be looking at your coworkers, that some are your customers, and some are your vendors.
Right.
And so you can really thrive and, be a business in your 9-to-5 job, because you really, you like to operate in excellence, or,
Right.
and that's one thing I can respect.
Yeah.
But if you're really not happy, but some people just can't see
Outside that
outside that work to home.
Some people say that they're happy, but they're really not happy because they just don't know how to be happy. They don't know
That's
how to
true.
get there.
Right.
So they just say, oh yeah, I'm fine, I'm good.
They're comfortable.
What is I'm good?
Comfortable,
That's what it
complacent,
is.
yeah.
The only way you're ever going to succeed is get out of your comfort zone.
Yep.
You cannot do it in your comfort zone.
One of the funniest things, and it's funny that we have in this conversation right now, of how you take it to the next level and about success. And I've been dealing with stuff for the last 3 weeks, and it's kind of funny because God always reveals certain things to you, and He's always on time. I always tell people, like, I'm an open person. So if I'm having a problem with my company, if I'm having a problem, I say, man, the devil messing with me. I'll be the first one to tell people. I'll tell a stranger in the street, hey, the devil messing with me, pray for me. People say, well, why would you say that? Yeah, because you know what? With God having my back, I can't lose.
Right.
And when you talk about people that's in your circle, my aunt been telling me this for the last 4 years. She said, Sean, everybody can't go where you're going.
That's right.
And
you can't take
everybody with you. And I see that, because what you surround yourself, who you surround yourself with, is what you become.
Absolutely.
And people always say, okay, I'm from the middle of the ghetto. I'm out the ghetto now. And then people say, oh, you changed. And back in the day, I used to be like, man, no, I'm never going to change. You know what? Yeah, I changed.
Absolutely.
Because 18 years, you were on the same corner doing the same thing. 18 years, I done moved 3 times, and now I'm comfortable. But it's about who you surround yourself with. Even the friends that you have right now, you got to figure out how genuine they are, because you could be winning and they can be losing, but now they low key mad at you because you're doing good. So now they throwing doubt at you. As you come with a dream, hey, you know what? I want to put another car on the road. Oh man, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you want to do it? You don't even have an employee. Well, that's the point. I'm gonna get a car and hire somebody else. Well, why would you do that? But see, that's that negativity, because it's not nothing that you're doing. They're just upset with their self because they done spent X amount of time in their life and they're not happy where they at. The thing about it is you got to be happy with yourself first. You got to be that winner. If you're not that winner, then guess what? You're losing.
Absolutely.
That's the whole way to look at it.
Yeah.
Well, and if you guys want to share a story of how you got to your next level, call us at 770-415-2149 about maybe that one thing that happened where you won in doing something that got you to your next level. Because, again, we don't live in a vacuum. We can't get, anywhere. I mean, look, I reached out to you guys, right, to connect with us, to start and launch on this new journey, right? And I mean, could we have sat here by ourselves? And but the power of connecting, and and it helps. I mean, like last year was a rough year, but I had relationships that I could call on,
right,
even if it was 2 a.m. in the morning, that just to get me through. And so, because and it's true, no man is an island unto themselves.
Exactly.
And even the best athletes, they have trainers. Michael Phelps hasn't become who he is just by himself.
Right.
He had someone that helped him with with his strokes, with his timing, with his training. You know, there's no even Oprah got her start through somebody,
Oh, certainly.
and she could not be Oprah without a team of people. You know, while she's great, but she's not great at everything.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
Right?
You have to put the pieces, like every person that makes you successful has a piece to your puzzle.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And when they complete that puzzle, that's when you're complete and you're a puzzle, but you're a completed puzzle.
Mhm.
But without them, your puzzle's not going to be complete.
Right.
Right.
Right. And so we want to talk on this show about not just winning, and because saying winning in life is just too broad for me.
Right.
Are you winning in your relationships, and can you still win even if there has been a little hiccup in it, right? Are you winning in health? Are you winning in business? Are you just, you know, winning in at your job? Right? Are you truly happy?
Right.
Hiccups are good though.
It is.
And
If
see,
you learn from it.
and that's the thing.
That's the thing.
That is the key right there. A lot of people always say, you know, 'cause y'all know I put everything on Facebook, and they say, well, why would you post that? And I'm saying because that's my I fail. I fail. But see, the thing about it is if you know I fall down, I'm gonna get right back up. And the thing about it is I can tell you something about my personal life. If you went through it, you can sit there and say, hey, Sean, hey, listen, you know what? I went through the same exact thing. If there's so many times people are in my inbox saying, hey, you know what? Hey, I went through the same exact thing. Hey, keep pushing on or do this. The thing about it is see, we live in a society right now where they tell you failing is wrong. Failing is not wrong because you got to understand your failure is completely different than my failure.
Right.
You know, your failure is completely different than
And
mine.
when you fall, just fall forward.
Right.
Yeah, fall forward. Yeah,
forward.
that's actually a book, you know, failing forward. But yeah, so you either if you learn from it, it's not just experience that's the best teacher, it's learned experience.
Right.
So
Right.
once that you identify that this doesn't work and this is what you needed, but you don't beat yourself up out of a failure.
I tell my kids that play football, and you know, if any of the parents listening, they'll tell you, Coach Gavin, my kids jump off sides on defense. You know what I tell them? I said, if you jump off side, you better hit the person right in front of you at 100 miles per hour. Parents say, well, why would you tell them they just made a mistake? No. The thing about it, if you make a mistake, make it the best mistake you ever made in your life. It got to be worth it. You're going to get the penalty regardless.
Yeah.
So you might as well, you might as well set, and that's the thing. When you make a mistake in running a business, if you make a mistake in life, make it the best mistake that you can do so you can learn from it. You know, because if you can learn from it, you can say, okay, this is the worst case scenario. Now that you've dealt with the worst case scenario, you'll never
When
deal
you
with
find
it.
people that are mistake free, they're usually doing nothing.
Right.
You know, like where like their lives look so perfect on Facebook or Instagram, and they're probably just doing a whole lot of work of trying to look perfect.
My whole life is making their Facebook look perfect.
Look perfect.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The best lighting, the best everything. But so anyway, so by winning is choosing good relationships.
Yeah.
Don't just choose wisely.
Oh, yeah.
Because you can't get to that next level. I mean, I had to learn this, and you know, we as entrepreneurs, we go out to network, right? And I had to learn that I had to even choose where I go. Oh, yeah. Wisely. And it sounds, you know, cocky, but I'm not trying to be that way. But if I am truly the smartest person in this room, I can come see you once in the blue. But I can't see you all the time.
Yeah, definitely. I told, I think I said it on my show, but I said it today to the class that I taught at one of my clients. I said, if you're leaning off of what you learned yesterday, you're a day too late.
Yep.
You should be learning something daily. You should not be stagnant. Stagnant water sinks. And if you're not growing, you're dying.
Right.
Yeah, you're irrelevant.
You always got to keep moving, whether it's physically moving or mentally moving. You always have to keep something going, because that's when you're going to, like you said, get stagnant.
Yeah.
You'll get old. You'll start to slow down. Your cells will die. I mean, really.
Yeah.
If you keep moving physically and mentally, you're good.
That's actually a great point. I have a customer. Actually, I have two customers. They live in the same house. The lady, she's about 85, 86 years old. She gets up every single morning. She goes out running.
Wow.
The husband, same about age, he sits there all day long. He can't walk. He can't do anything.
Wow.
What's the difference? And I asked her, so when you get up and you run every day, what did you do so that he get sick? She said, no, he just don't do anything.
He chooses.
He chooses to not do anything.
That's the thing. You have to choose. Well, you don't have to choose. Okay, you have a choice between not doing anything and doing something.
Right.
But everybody knows there's so much on the internet. Okay, when we were growing up, we're all about the same age. Let's be honest.
We're much older.
Okay.
See, though,
Yeah, we are.
When we were growing up, okay, we had Encyclopedia
Right.
Britannica. That's
Yeah.
all we had to pull from for information.
Right.
Now the internet is there. Google is there. There's things that if you desire it, if you want to get better, you can get better because there's so much information on it. All you have to do is research it and be resourceful. Just do it. You have like Nike, you have to just do it.
And a choice, you're making a choice,
Right.
to do or not to
That's your
do.
choice.
That can still,
Whether you do or whether you don't, that's what it will be.
definitely.
So we just touched a bit on winning. So this is winning, dreaming out. Those of you that have gotten my voice message, the last 15, I don't know, maybe 20 years now, it's been you only go as far as you believe, so dream big. Right? And I mean, but in dreaming, with dreaming, then it's to set goals based off of those dreams. I can tell you when I first, when I had my aha moment of dreaming big, I was on vacation in Madeira Beach, Florida, beautiful, never been there. And I'm sitting on the beach. I'm just watching the water. I'm just kind of, and then I see this bird hovering over the waves, right? And I said, what's that bird? Why is that bird here? But then it hit me I had the answer to that even as I was asking it. And it was, why aren't there more birds here in this paradise? Why are some birds content in living on rooftops or in alleyways? Why are there more birds here in this paradise?
They're doing easy food on the other places.
Right.
It's too easy for them there.
And that's when it just hit me that, and at that time I was in corporate America, but I had realized by then that I was psychologically unqualified to work for someone else. So
I like that.
I got it out of it somehow. But it didn't hit me that the time was now. And so I began to kind of look in my mind what I wanted my dream life to look like. And then I had to find mentors, and I didn't have anyone in my circle, so I found them in authors, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, and I began to, I just began to dream bigger dreams, I mean, and I had a great childhood. It wasn't always easy, but I was happy. But I was raised to get your education, you have a career, right? Whatever that looks like, but it was not much bigger than that. Yeah. And so I had to picture, my dream size house, my dream vacation, my dream, bigger, driving from New York to Florida. Ooh, that was whoa, right? But nothing. I had nothing to look at, and so but when you start to set goals, goals have three components. One, it must be inspiring. Two, it must be believable to you. And then it must be one that you can act on. And that's when then you will start to dream bigger. And I mean, I never in my early 20s thought that I would be an author. Never. What? What did I read what I wrote? Right. I can't even write. I can really speak English. But then to see, I would never think that I was going to be a CEO. Never. It wasn't even, I didn't see past, maybe I could be a manager of a department. Right. Because I have my degree. So that's what, but to have done and will do the things that we're in the process of doing, but because I've done it once, And I've seen them when I began to dream bigger. Now I know I can do it again.
Right.
You know, so I'm just checking on time, but I'm okay. I'm just keep on talking. So, but all right. So, dreaming big. Share with us how when you set a goal,
Mm-hmm.
and then but it was based on a dream you had. Just think of one that then you hit it.
Well, I just got an inbox. We talked about people inboxing us, and someone inboxed me, and it was 2012, and I worked the third shift at the airport. So kind of quiet, not a lot, and then it wasn't like heavy staff. So this young lady and I, we talked, and we were just talking about our dreams. We were talking about things. I knew what Eugenics would look like. I knew that I would go into corporations, and I would go into any industry, any entity that had people,
Right.
and share with them on how to create the best interactions with other people. Of course, it looks like customer service to me. But we talked about it. We went back and forth. We talked about radio. We talked about a gamut of things. And so when she inboxed me, I inboxed her back, and I was like, do you remember on the floor us having this conversation? We took that time to just dream about all that we could have and all that we were going to do. The biggest thing we knew is this is not us. This is not where it stops. This is simply a layover, and we will work in excellence while we're here. We're going to give the best. I think, and this is another conversation, but I think a lot of times people think when they're working for an employer or when they're just within relationships, right? They get loyalty and lunacy mixed up, and there's a difference. I do a whole workshop. There's a difference between loyalty and lunacy. And when I'm there and I'm team you, I'm going to give you my best. But that doesn't mean I want to stifle my growth, right? Because I want to be, air quotes, loyal to you, you know. So we dreamt, we knew that we had exit strategies. We put all those things into place, and just talking about the dreams, it's so funny because we just had this conversation in our inbox yesterday. And so now the manifestation of Eugenics being a legitimate company where people know, when people say, oh, but I've seen your card, that just warms my heart. Or I know you are, I can never say, they call me everything. Euthanasia, antics, I mean, just everything. But the fact that they know that I exist, right, and that my company will be global and impacts the community. Right. That's I'm just like, yeah, this dream is taking off. And even though it's not been a smooth journey, and there's been some, different things that had to happen for it to manifest, I'm just thankful for the manifestation. It was all smooth, and it would be worth it. It would be for everybody what we do. Exactly. So yeah, just to think about the dreams that we've talked about and for it to manifest. I think I probably shared it with you. I went to broadcasting school over 10 years ago. Yeah. 10 years ago. So when people see me here, they're like, how did you make that leap? It really wasn't a leap. It was the seeds were already planted. Yeah, the seeds were planted, but I mean, they may have taken longer to harvest. But so yeah, that's awesome. The manifestation of the dream. All right. Are we good? Sean.
I mean, I feel like Jay-Z sometimes. Like he said in that I Got the Keys video, he said, I dream in color. And, I honestly believe that. I mean, anything that I put my mind to, I can achieve. And the lifestyle and everything that I have right now, all came full circle just when I got married. I mean, my wife wanted the house, the kids, and, that was our dream. And that's why I can say our dream was really what she kind of wanted. And that was my motivation. So, and it's kind of funny when you have somebody that can inspire you to be great. Just like everybody talk about Michelle Obama. Like, she was so powerful as a woman that she believed that her husband was going to be the president of the United States. And guess what? He became it. So my dreams, realistically was the dreams of my wife's. But now I'm at a point in life where I got to start dreaming again for myself. Because, yeah, we have the house. We have the businesses. She has the cars. We have the great kids. We go on the vacations. So, again, my dream every single day is in color. Because every single time I wake up, I'm dreaming. But then there is a time in life where you have to sit back and say, okay, what do Sean really want in life? You know, what are my true dreams and what are my true goals? And
When you gotta dream big.
that's when I got to dream big. And I mean,
Yeah.
see, I'm right now, and I'm so complacent of where I'm at. You know, and not be the first one. I've been having a conversation with God for a whole week right now.
Well, God said, shut up and get out of that. You're here today to get unstuck.
But the thing that's so funny is you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all know, y'all haven't seen me on Facebook, but you're right. But it's everything that we're sitting here talking about right now is confirmation, because it's saying, you know, are you going to win? Are you going to win through your struggle?
Right.
What is your dreams? Because I just told y'all, you know, I'm open book. My dreams was not my own dreams. It was this lifestyle of, hey, this would be nice to get this house.
Right.
You know what? We seen the house, we went and got it.
Yeah.
We seen the car, she went and got it.
Yeah.
The thing about it is okay, now what you showing Gavin want? You know,
Exactly.
and that's where it's at.
That's right.
You know, the devil always come at you when you're about to take it to the next level.
That's right.
He's
So
just taking a peek into your future, and
Yep.
who knows? Well, we're gonna keep on talking about goals, but then our next segment will be about believing, right? But I love this song that's coming on because of the fact that when I'm believing for something, I always put a praise on. So let's listen to Tasha Cobbs. You're listening to 108 Praise Radio, Voice in the Gospel with Alice Jane. Come on back.